I'm Nic Harcourt, and we're at the Village Studios with Rhian and Ellis from Wet Leg. Great to meet you guys.
Hi.
Hi. I just watched you rehearsing and recording some songs that we're going to hear a little bit later on, and we want to talk about the new album. But before we jump into that, the Village is a good place for me to start, I think, because I know that on that first album you were out touring for a long, long time, and some of that touring was with Harry Styles, who actually made his last record in this studio. I don't know if you were aware of that.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Cool.
Tell us about that relentless touring, first of all, before we get into talking about this new record, because obviously you had a hit out of the gate, and I'm sure you were surprised, but all of a sudden you are launched onto the merry-go-round of the music business.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, especially because, I don't know, we were all just kind of like settled into our jobs. We were like, you know, like late 20s, like starting this band. Ellis you were scaffolding.
Yep.
I've done that.
Yeah, a bit of that. It's always fun.
And I was working on like TV commercials, doing assistant styling. So it was a real surprise to kind of like go from like these little lives and then just like be launched into doing music, playing music with your friends around the world.
Yeah, and obviously great fun, but that's real work, isn't it, to be slogging it out there just night after night?
I don't know.
It's not? Okay.
I mean, I think it's too fun to be called work.
Yeah, it's funny. You are my colleague, though.
Yeah, we are colleagues. Which is nice.
A lot of time in the States. You've been in and out of LA a few times as well. What did you pick up along the way, touring with Harry and obviously on your own as well across this country?
What did we pick up?
I don't know.
Well, you were doing scaffolding.
Yeah.
You were doing commercials. That's a big jump from being on the Isle of Wight to touring the US. We're going to cut all these gaps out, by the way. So
leave them in.
It'll sound like you're answering my question.
I guess, I think when we were doing the Harry stuff, I didn't realize how professional, like being in a band or like being an artist could be.
Yeah.
They do it very professional.
It's a slick operation.
Yeah, which I didn't really realize.
So, and obviously that's rubbed off on you guys now.
Obviously, we're a very slick operation now.
By the time you'd finished doing all that touring, you're not giving me anything here, but I'm hoping that you're going to tell me that you were kind of knackered at the end of it and you needed a little time off.
Yeah, I was definitely like getting a bit homesick towards the end there. And it was just really exciting to go back, have some downtime, and then like actually write some music together as a band. Like, I think that's why we were excited to stop touring, just so that we could write more.
You rented a place, and you guys all lived together for a while writing. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
It was in Suffolk. We rented a little house. It was like kind of on a farm, very isolated, and we just like set up all of our gear in a room, and we just kind of started jamming, working on demos and stuff. How long did we do that for? It was like a month.
It was like 2 weeks on. Then I got like cabin fever and was like, we have to stop, have 2 weeks off. And then we like took stock and went back for another couple of weeks. So I think it was like just shy of a month. Yeah, it was pretty chill, to be honest. It's like we were kind of quite lazy with it. Not that we told our label that, but just kind of like would maybe like start making sounds at like midday and kind of go till 6 and then like watch some horror films together, eat some food.
Normal day.
Yeah, it was pretty cushy.
Writing as a band though this time, which is a little bit different from first time out. They always say you have your whole life to write the first record and then maybe a year to write the next one. I'm sure it was a little different this time because you did have a band now.
Yeah, and we didn't hang about. We like really made a point of not agonizing over like all of the songs. I just kind of like wanted to like rip the band-aid off of that second album pressure.
Did you feel pressure?
Tried not to.
I mean, it sounds like you didn't from the day-to-day activities in your house. Yeah, I work for 6 hours and then we watch horror movies for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
for some food.
That's just like, you know, I have this great ability to self-sabotage, and maybe I was like trying to do
you
that.
too, huh?
Yeah. I didn't feel too much pressure. I was just really excited, to be honest. And we just wanted to write some songs that would be fun to play. So it was mainly about that.
So demoing those tracks, obviously, 2 weeks in, then 2 weeks off, and then you went back again. And then you recorded, I believe, in Brighton. Tell us about that. I know you worked with Dan Carey, who worked with you on the first album as well.
Yeah, it was really cool to go back in with Dan, actually. Ellis is saying like he didn't feel any pressure, but I kind of did feel a bit of pressure. So I think working with Dan again helped kind of like block out external noise for me personally. And it just felt really good because like I remember how nervous I was when we made the first record, and I just had like the worst case of imposter syndrome. And like, I don't know if Dan realized this, but I don't know. I was like, well, I am like a very big fan of his. And so, yeah, it was just very scary most days because, yeah, I don't know. So it was very cool going in with him a second time and having like a bit more experience and already like having that relationship with him, and just like, you know, like when you're used to working with someone, you don't really have to speak, you can just like give each other a look kind of thing. So it was cool.
So take us through the day in the studio in Brighton, the place in Norfolk or Suffolk or wherever it was. That's a conversation we had before, excuse me. Those days sounded like fairly relaxed, but then you're in the studio and the clock is ticking.
Yeah, we kind of had everything set up, and like most of it was kind of tracked live in the room, and we just kind of don't really know how we did. We just kind of kept doing takes and just until we got the one.
So how different was that from first time around? I mean, you're tracking live in the room. I'm presuming the first time around was a little bit different. You said you learned a lot coming into the second album.
Yeah, no, the first album was the same. Like Dan has a very like particular way that he likes to work, and it generally is, yeah, playing everything live in the room. And when you get like the magic take, then you kind of like move on. Although saying that, we did this thing and we called it the rule of 3. So you play 3 songs in a row without stopping, instead of kind of like just drilling the same song over and over again. Because there's some kind of like, I don't know, when you drill a song over and over again, it loses a bit of life and a bit of urgency. And so, you know, playing like 3 songs in a row, it kind of like keeps that like freshness. Does that make sense?
It totally does. I mean, if you do those 3 songs, do you then say, okay, we like that take, don't do that one again? Or do you just keep doing three at a time until you're sort of done with the 3 and then pick another 3?
3 at a time.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. At a time.
Three at a time. How many songs are on the album?
Is it 12?
I think it might be 12. Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah. We were working. How many were we working on? Like
I think
before
it
we
was
did
like
the big cull.
16, I think 16 or 17,
Yeah.
around that, and then it kind of dropped to 15. I think when we got to Brighton. Yeah. Then it dropped to 12.
so there's B-sides kicking around.
Possibly.
Yeah. You gotta have the B-sides kicking around.
So the album comes out. It's called Moisturiser, by the way, and it comes out in July, right? First album came out in April of 2022. That's so funny. We're here like 3 years since that album came out. But as we mentioned, there was a single before that. Did you go into the studio with the mindset that you have to have singles?
I think we just like Ellis was saying earlier, we just wanted them to be fun to play, because we did a lot of touring and we really love touring, and so we really want to have like the tunes that are going to be fun to play live.
I read a quote from I think Hester that said we focused on, is this going to be fun to play live?
Yeah.
That was the main thing.
Yeah.
As you're getting ready, obviously, to go out again, you must be looking forward to going out and playing these songs live.
Very excited.
Sorry, I was just nodding. You can hear me nodding.
No, I'm just looking at the eyes between the two of you. It's like there's a language going on, which is like, you talk. No, you talk.
I haven't quite figured it out yet.
Let's work out the bumps for you right now, and then obviously as you move forward, everyone will get the benefit from this 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You never know. What was the question?
Yeah. Going out live, taking these songs out live.
Yeah, very excited. 'Cause like 3 years touring the first album, and it's how long is the album? Like 36 minutes.
Yeah, it's not a
many
long
songs.
album.
So it's really fun to have some new songs.
Yeah, we'd be getting booked for like hour-long sets, and that just don't have enough songs.
Was that the case in the early days? Like you could only play so many songs because you only had so many?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So what's up this summer? Festivals?
Festivals, mainly UK European festivals.
Yeah, I think so. And a couple headline stuff.
Yeah, we're doing a UK tour in May, a little one. Should be fun.
And when are you back in the States?
Soon.
Yeah.
I hope.
I'm not sure of what's confirmed, so
No, I don't.
Don't know if we can put it out there.
Oh, come on.
Mysterious.
I don't know, maybe like, well, hopefully this year, I don't know. Unconfirmed. Maybe.
Keep going.
I don't know, I feel like I don't want to put anything out there that I might be wrong.
You might be wrong. It's terrible to be wrong.
Yeah.
All right, listen. I'm happy we got a chance to catch up a little bit. We've been playing your music since the first single here at the SoCal Sound, and looking forward to the new album. It's called Moisturiser. It's out on July 11th, and we've been talking with Rhian and Ellis from Wet Leg. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.